if you ride a motorcycle on a track, whether it be for pleasure in terms of track days, or it be because you're racing at club level or national championships, you have two tools at your disposal in order to improve any given situation. The first tool is the motorcycle. The second one is you. They say good workmen never blame their tools, but when it comes to motorcycles, you need to have a good look around what you're riding and hold up a mirror to yourself as well, because it's going to be one of those that's likely the issue. In fact, definitely the issue. My name's Tony Scott. My company's called Tony Scott Motorsport, and we produce geometry parts for production-based chassis like this. Now, the question might come, why on earth should you listen to me? Well, if you're prepared to listen to some of those weapons up on their Facebook, then I can promise you that talking to me is a good start. But I'll give you a little bit of provenance so that you're not completely in the dark about my past. I began running track days for Motorcycle News, Donington Park. I went on to then form a company called the European Superbike School, which was a 4-day school down in the south of France. There I had chief instructors that I was working with, like Pierfrancesco from World Superbikes, Mick Doohan from MotoGP, Randy Mamola from MotoGP, and last but not least, Niall Mackenzie, multiple British Superbike champion. The things that I gleaned from these guys in conversation were just mind-blowing, because we were running through all the various idiosyncrasies associated with riding a bike on a track. And one of the first things that I'm sure you'll all acknowledge is that riding a motorcycle on track is very different, uses a different set of skills to riding on the road. If you use your road skills, you'll likely hurt yourself on a racetrack. Whereas actually racetrack skills can transfer themselves to the road, especially in something of a little bit of an emergency situation where you've gone into a corner a bit hot. Race skills give you the confidence to get yourself out of that. But I loved running that school. That was a wonderful project. After that, I was asked to run a single make series on the Daytona 675 for Triumph, the manufacturer. Did that for, I think it was about 4 years at Bemsey, 4 years at British Championships. It was wonderful to watch young riders gaining confidence and increasing their skill sets, watching them grow, essentially. It was a very rewarding part of the job. When that finished in 2014, I decided to build a sort of a replica Moto 2 bike. Essentially, that's what it was. I tried to convince British Championships that it'd be great to have a Moto 2 championship at BSB. Unfortunately, at that time, I don't think it was really ready. But in 16, we did a lot of testing, and in 17 we were invited to attend BSB, and it was a very successful venture, which I'll talk about in another video. But shortly after, well actually during that time, during the time of the Triple Challenge, we also nailed down a couple of British Championships in the 600 class, and I'm proud to say we developed the concept of what you see now at British Supersport, AMA, World Supersport. Tony Scott Motorsport came up with the concept of Moto Evo, and that was fitting geometry parts, a lot of geometry parts, to a production-based chassis. That concept, which is now called Supersport Next Generation, came out of this stable and was started by me. And so I hope that all of that will give you enough confidence to listen to what it is that I have to say. As a brand, there's two things I'd like to achieve. One is I'd like to get more people out on Evo bikes, understanding and learning geometry and going on that journey. It's a brilliant journey and it's not as complex as you think it is. Once you get your head around it, it's actually fairly straightforward. And the other thing I'd like to see is a Moto2 style championship up and running somewhere, preferably Europe, where young riders can go and learn the skills that are associated with setting up a geometry bike. And if you ever want to walk into the Moto2, MotoGP paddock, you'll be riding a geometry based bike. Now I know that doesn't apply to 99.9% of the people that I'm talking to, but it applies to one of you or two of you. And I would desperately like to see that championship and give you riders who struggle from a budgetary point of view a chance to experience machinery like this and actually see if you've got the talent. Ben Spies said it best: if you put a kid on a Moto 3, learn how to ride that and then put him on a production based motorcycle, he will ride the wheels off of that production based motorcycle. But if you do it the other way round, he will struggle to make the transfer to a Moto 3. If we want to see another hero in motorcycle racing, if we want to defend ourselves in this sport, then we need to start thinking about things a little bit differently. If anybody asks me what it is that I've got to achieve at the moment, the answer is to convince you that I'm not bullshitting you, that I'm not talking a load of old twaddle. Well, in my next video I'm going to talk about Moto Evo in a bit more depth, and I think hopefully that will give you an idea of just how far down the road of this sport I've actually gone. My name's Tony Scott. It's been a real pleasure talking to you. Hope to see you again on the next video.